Let's now take a look at our business solution overview. VMware Cloud Foundation enables organizations to have the ability to deliver cloud agility as a way to scale infrastructure without needing to scale their IT staff. This cloud operating model provides the benefit of public cloud with the security and performance of on-premises private clouds. Development teams can leverage the embedded Kubernetes runtime and a cloud consumption interface that enables them to deploy infrastructure as code via a self-service interface. This results in a near frictionless deployment of cloud-native applications, providing the ability for developers to be much more productive, while the IT teams can maintain compliance against security requirements by building security into the policies deployed with every customer. VMware Cloud Foundation provides enterprise-grade resiliency, offering the ability to scale infrastructure and applications seamlessly through a hardened platform that has built-in resilience to ensure that mission-critical apps are always available. These are the three primary deployment models for our cloud service providers to deliver their solutions to customers. Depending on their requirements and solution needs, they are hosted private cloud, managed private cloud, and public cloud. You'll notice in the bullet points below on this slide, we can see that starting from left to right, you have a very easy entry point as a cloud service provider into the hosted private cloud. Very easy to onboard customers, bring their workloads into an infrastructure as a service environment. As we start to move to the right, we start to see more opportunity for different styles of workloads, as well as more advanced offerings by our cloud service provider. Let's take a look at a visual representation of these models. Across the top, we see the cloud service provider managed solutions, which just is a representation of some of the solutions that might be offered. But notice below in the box labeled standardized architecture. Starting again from the left, we see the hosted private cloud, managed completely by VMware Cloud Foundation. In the middle, we see managed private cloud, where we add on the layer of Cloud Director. And then, of course, on the right-hand side, the public cloud deployment model, again, using Cloud Director and VMware Cloud Foundation. Now, there are many different types of deployment options within these models, but we're going to take a look at just three options, one for each model, to give you an idea of the possibilities that are available. Let's first look at this architecture design for hosted private cloud. You'll notice here that this deployment option shows that each customer receives a dedicated VCF instance that is managed completely by the customer. They're able to onboard their own workloads, managing all of the different configuration components within VMware Cloud Foundation for their environment. Across the top, we still see that the provider managed services are available to those customers from that cloud service provider. In our second deployment option, this one is attached to the managed private cloud, where we see a centralized management domain that is managed by the cloud service provider. And then that cloud service provider would then provision workload domains up to 24 for each VCF instance. And then those customers are isolated or given a dedicated workload domain to run their apps and run their workloads in that workload domain. They access those resources through VMware Cloud Director. Again, we see the provider managed services offered across the top to all customers. In this deployment option, we see that it is attached to the public cloud deployment model. Again, a cloud service provider managed management domain in the VCF environment. But notice that we only have one workload domain. One workload domain that is managing many clusters, and the clusters are connected to separate customers. So each customer would have an isolated or dedicated cluster for their workloads and their applications. They again would interact with those resources through VMware Cloud Director. This deployment option is very scalable and very cost effective for our cloud service providers.